Welcome back, Seesaw teachers. I am Tina Sauser from ESU 8, and today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about Seesaw 5.0 and some of the amazing updates that Seesaw has added, including, but not limited to, the activities feature. So, what's new in Seesaw 5.0? First of all, you can find all the resources that I'm sharing today here if you type in bit.ly/seesaw50, and you will have all kinds of resources in the notes under the slides. Also, if you like my slides here for the October theme, you can get multiple different kinds of slides for presentations if you go to slidescarnival.com. So let's get started with Seesaw 5.0. The first thing I want to talk about is how Seesaw is now customizable. You can add your own themes and your own icons for better identification of different classes. So let's take a look in my Seesaw class here. So right here is the original, or my original Seesaw class. If you just set it up from scratch, this is what it's going to look like. If you come over here now to this wrench icon, this is where you can customize your Seesaw class. And the very first thing is the class settings at the top. So here is where you can add a class theme, which will allow you to change colors. And you can also add a class icon. Now they have some set for you, or you could go into and click Upload Image and go find an icon from your computer that you want to use to customize your class. And so I'm going to pick one here. This one's a fun one, and I'm going to say open, and it's going to use that photo to relate to this class, and you'll see it come up over here. I'm going to change this color a little bit so you can see it a little better. Something else that's up here in these class settings is where you can manage teachers. If you add a teacher or invite a teacher, that teacher has the same permissions that you would have to manage your class. So that's always a good one. And also you can change your grade level here. When you customize these class settings, it makes it easier for students to identify if they have multiple Seesaw classes. It makes it easier for them to see which class is which. And you can also do that if you have multiple classes. If you click over here on the name of your class, you can very easily toggle between the different classes. And as you can see, I have customized these two so they're easy to identify compared to the original class settings. So now, I also love what Seesaw has done to simplify the class experience. They have taken the landing page for the class Seesaw page and made it so easy for students. So we're going to jump out of here and go into, I'm going to show you, here's the old version of what Seesaw used to look like on the class account side. So you'd have your pictures and icons over here on each side. To add, you would have the to add an artifact, you would have the add button up here, and you could toggle between calendar view. So if we go to the new class view, I'm going to open a new window here. This is the new class view for the Seesaw page. And as you notice, we've got the big green plus sign where we can click and add any artifact we want. It's very simple to see and simple to find. And I always like to tell my students, if we're going to add something to our journal, where are we going to go? And that helps direct them to the add button at the top. And then also we can toggle, the students can toggle between views of the journal view and the calendar view. So they can view the calendar as well. And then they also have the options over here. If you would have your blog turned on, they could click on the blog over here. They could go to their inbox over here if there's a message from the teacher and click right there. And then this activities we're going to talk about a little bit later. But one other thing that I really like about the class, the update to class, is they can click right here on their class account and click sign out to go to get out of their account right there at the top. The next thing that we're going to talk a little bit about is the announcements and messages that Seesaw has updated in version 5.0. So if you go into the Seesaw account, you may have noticed when you go under the plus, you now have more options. The post to student journal is still there, but you can also click and say send an announcement. When you get into this page, it allows you to select your audience. So an announcement is a message that you want to send to either all your students, all family members, or all students and family members. And if you look, it will tell you the number that you have in each group over on the right hand side. So this is just my practice class. So I only have 4 students in there. I have 1 family member tied to it, and I have altogether 5. So if I want to send it to everyone, I can click here and type in my announcement. Now, when I say send now, it's going to tell me at the bottom how many I'm sending it to. Now, when you send your first announcement to family, they then have the opportunity to reply back once you've sent your first one. You can always go into the wrench and turn off the family comment if you choose, or turn off that feature if you would like. What's really neat about this is the announcements do not log in the student's journal. So it doesn't become an artifact in their journal. It is just simply an announcement between families and students, and however you select to have them in there. But the good part about them, as I said, is that they do not become part of the student journal. So the student journal doesn't become cluttered with notes and messages. Okay, now we're going to spend just a little bit of time talking about the new and improved family app Seesaw has. I believe this is an important point because I want you to be able to help support your parents through the understanding of this app and how it works as well. So the first thing is that it is no longer called the parent app. It's called the family app because Seesaw wanted to make sure that teachers and parents understood that you can invite more than just parents into a student's journal. You are allowed to invite grandparents and aunts and uncles or whoever you wish, as long as it's up to the teacher discretion on who she wants to invite or who they want to invite into the student journals. Now we're going to go into my parent account because I want to show you difference here. One of my favorite features of the new parent app is that now you can see all of your kids' journals in one spot. So I have multiple kids as in my family app, but I can see them all come in this one feed. I can toggle between the different ones if I choose right here, but I can see them all come into the same feed all in one spot. Now, also in your family app, they will have an inbox now where they will get your announcements and messages. And yes, if you allow them to, they can respond to these in here as well. So those are some examples of the new and improved family app. Now, let's talk about the new activities feature in Seesaw 5.0. This activities feature allows teachers to assign students an activity to perform that will be posted in that student's journal. And the teacher can use those activities to also differentiate for students and to assign different modifications for different students. And so it's a great feature because the students don't have to go into file, edit, and copy and all that to actually perform an assignment or an activity. So let's jump out of here and go into my teacher Seesaw page here. And remember, as you noticed prior in our video, we talked about the activities button here, which this button will show you your activities that you have posted or that you have utilized for your class. But if you want to assign an activity or want to go in and create one, you click on the green plus and you go into share activity. Now that landing page for your activity, the grade level is set to whatever grade level you chose for your class. And so inside this, there'll be different activities that are related to your appropriate grade level. You can, however, go in and search different grade levels if you choose and want to find something different as well. And this is a library that's building, so there will probably be more and more added to here, and you can add your own to this as well. And these activities are all created by teachers in the classroom, creating these for their students. So let's take a look at one of the activities. We're just going to choose a simple one for October here. This activity, it'll show you the name of the activity, it'll show you the instructions, and then you can play the instructions. But if I choose that activity, I can read again. It shows me this is an example of the activity. This is the student template that they are going to use. So my options when I go into one of these activities, I have the option to customize, which means that I can go in here and add or edit any features that I want to make it my own and suit my class. I can share the activity. If I click share, it's going to go to all students within your class. So I'm going to click share. And what it has done is it says that the activity is shared, and first students need to respond by clicking the add button to the activity. And then again, as you have your Seesaw class set up, you have to approve it before it gets posted to a student journal. Okay, so there's your activity. As you can see, it's added to your activity list in your journal feed. So now I'm going to jump over into my student account, and I'm going to refresh my page here. The student account now is going to show that your teacher has posted an activity, or you can go into the activities button to see what the activities are that are assigned to you. So as a student, when I get in here, I can read the title, read the steps that I need to follow, and I can play the instructions.
Decorate the pumpkin using shapes and colors. First, tap the green Add button. Next, use the drawing tool and decorate your pumpkin. Last, tap the green check and add it to your Seesaw journal.
Okay, so the student has listened to the instructions, and now the student's going to click add, and they're going to select their student account, and then it's going to give them that template that was in the instructions. What I love about this is it also has the instructions they can click on right here, and it's going to reread those instructions for them. So the student can go through multiple steps and still have the instructions up here to listen to. So I'm going to, as a student, I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions here, and I'm going to draw a face on my pumpkin. I'm doing this on a computer, so please forgive my drawing abilities here. So then, as a student, once I get my activity done for this activity, I kind of go through the same process, and I can check mark that and say, yep, I am done with that. And then it gives me these options again where I can add more if I need to, if they're in the instructions. And then when I'm ready to post, I click the check mark just as anything else I would post in there. And it's going to post it, and it's going to tell me that the post has been added. Now, that is in my feed, but if I go back to my teacher account, and I go into journal, now I have one unapproved post, and if I click on that, it's going to show me the student's activity, and again I can approve it or deny it. So I click check, and then it's going to go now into the student journal where the teachers will, where the parents and guardians will see it as well. So now I want to show you one more feature of the activities. If I go back to the shared activity, I can create my own by clicking create new, and it has a layout for you for all of your activities. So you give it a title, you write the instructions including icons and the details that you want in there. You can add your voice instructions, which I highly recommend, because those are the ones that come over top of the activities when the students are in there. And then you can attach an example if you choose. Here's where you attach the student template, for instance, that empty pumpkin for the students to draw over top. You don't have to have that. Under more options, you can add them to a folder, or you can add it to a skill as well. And then once you're done, you can preview it, you can save it as a draft, and then you can send it out to your students as you do the rest. And you can share it to the community. So that is activities for Seesaw. Thank you for watching What's New in Seesaw 5.0. And remember, you can contact me at any time with any questions you might have. Thank you.